What if I told you that some people aren't lonely because they can't make friends, but because they've quietly decided the world isn't worth the effort? The ones who walk alone, the silent ones, you've probably seen them. Maybe in the corner of a cafe, maybe in your office, maybe staring out the window at nothing at all. They don't wave, they don't laugh too loudly, and they definitely don't chase popularity. And yet, there's something magnetic about them. Something unsettling. You might assume they're shy, socially awkward, or broken in some way. But that's the surface, the story everyone tells themselves to feel safe. The truth is far darker, far more fascinating. The friendless aren't always victims. They are observers, predators in plain sight. They've learned to move through the world unnoticed, gathering information, studying the patterns of chaos humans call social life. And somewhere along the way, they've discovered a secret most people never notice. The more you depend on others, the more they can control you. Psychologists call it high-functioning solitude. But don't let the clinical term fool you. This isn't some feel-good self-help mantra about enjoying your own company. It's a survival mechanism. People who walk alone often have an acute understanding of human behavior, sharper than those with a dozen casual friends. They notice the lies in a smile, the hesitation in a handshake, the hidden agendas behind polite conversation. And the more they notice, the less they want to participate. Think about it. Friends aren't always friends. They demand attention, loyalty, validation. They gossip, they betray, they disappoint. And the friendless? They've seen it all. They've felt the sting of false promises and empty words. So they withdraw. Not out of fear, but out of a brutal kind of wisdom. They've chosen silence over drama, observation over trust, freedom over companionship. Yet there's another layer, darker still. Some of these solitary minds aren't just cautious, they are haunted. Perhaps by trauma, rejection, or betrayal. The friendless often carry invisible scars, memories that make the noise of social life unbearable. And so they retreat, wrapping themselves in solitude like armor. Every laugh in a group, every shared secret, every inside joke becomes a reminder of what they lost, or what they feared would happen if they let their guard down again. And here's the ironic part. Society loves to pity them. Poor soul, all alone. But they are anything but poor. Their minds are rich, labyrinthine, and often terrifyingly honest. They don't need validation. They don't need approval. And they certainly don't need small talk. They see through the illusion everyone else desperately clings to. The illusion that friendship equals fulfillment. Of course, there's a price. Loneliness can be corrosive, a slow poison that seeps into thoughts, warping perception, amplifying paranoia, twisting reality. The silent ones flirt with madness, not in a cinematic, dramatic way, but in quiet, almost imperceptible ways. They replay conversations that never happened, analyze gestures that might have meant nothing, create patterns where there are none. Their minds become echo chambers, reflecting truths and lies until no one, not even themselves, can tell the difference. But don't mistake this for weakness. It's a kind of strength society rarely respects. Walking alone is an act of rebellion, a rejection of superficial connection, a refusal to be manipulated. The friendless have something most people will never understand: the terrifying freedom of having no one to answer to, no one to please, no one to explain themselves to. They are ghosts in the crowd, unseen, underestimated, yet profoundly aware. And yet, curiosity gnaws at them. The world is still watched, still measured, still dissected. They study people, not for friendship, not for love, not for approval, but for knowledge. Every gesture, every slip of the tongue, every hidden motive becomes a piece of the puzzle. They understand the mechanics of social life in ways that the so-called popular could never imagine. And there's a subtle power in that understanding. Because once you see the machinery, the lies, the invisible rules, the choice to disengage becomes intoxicating. It's easy to assume that friendlessness is a curse, a failing. But what if it's a choice? What if walking alone is a deliberate act, a conscious decision to avoid mediocrity, distraction, and manipulation? The friendless don't need applause. They don't need validation. They are their own audience, their own judges, their own companions. And the world, the messy, chaotic, exhausting world of social entanglements, seems almost laughable from the quiet corners of their minds. And still, the question lingers: are they lonely or are they free? There's no simple answer. Some crave connection in secret, watching from a distance, learning, yearning. Others have perfected the art of detachment, the cold serenity of self-sufficiency. Either way, there's a lesson in their silence, a reflection of something most people are too afraid to admit. Sometimes, the fewer people you let in, the more control you have over your own life. So next time you see someone walking alone, don't pity them. Don't assume they are missing out. They are far more complicated than that. Behind their quiet gaze lies observation, awareness, and a subtle kind of rebellion against the noise of the world. They are the silent ones, the observers, the ones who see too much, feel too deeply, and survive too well. And if you dare to get close, if you try to force them into conversation or camaraderie, remember this: you are entering a mind that has learned the value of solitude, the weight of betrayal, and the power of walking alone. Because in a world obsessed with connection, the friendless are the true outsiders, the hidden rulers of their own reality. They are free, yet haunted, observant, yet isolated, strong, yet fragile. And perhaps, just perhaps, they know something the rest of us never will. The quiet mind is often the loudest, the solitary heart the strongest, and the silent ones the most dangerous.